Today I was asked to have a session with you on time management. I think none of us are good at managing time. That is quite true. However, we can make some effort in terms of the academic matter to organize our time and utilize it more effectively. Even if you take myself, today I had to be here at 9 o'clock because I had a lecture from 9 to 11. So if I didn't have a lecture at 9 to 11, I would have come at 9:30 or maybe I would have come at 8:30. Okay? And also I had to prepare some slides for you. And all those are part of the time management. So, similar to us who prepare course material for the delivery of a lecture or a tutorial or an assignment, you all have to do the same. Now, I thought, I will not prescribe you a plan, how to manage time, etc. But I will tell you some examples of some of the great people. You may have seen them or you may have read about them, seen their names most of the time. You would have seen them in a television or an interview. Or you may have read about them. So I thought I will collect some of those skills or some of those attributes of those great people and share with you, so that you can take something from them, like not from me but from them, because they were some of the great people. They are some of the great people in the world, and so obviously you will have no objection of taking good attributes from them. So after high school and you are here for the university, or sometimes in some of those lives they call it college. College means it's same as university, okay? So you may have the excitement of university life. I had my excitements, okay? Now, one thing everyone would have told you when you were studying for A-level and all that, okay, you somehow finish this exam and after that your life is going to be so nice. You don't have to study again and you will have a lot of fun and it's going to be great. The rest of the life is all about fun. That's what people say, okay? Work hard, do the A-levels, get a good score, get to the university, then you are all set. Then you don't need to open the book again. But that's not the case. Okay? So let me show you a video. I thought that it's quite interesting. You may have seen it in some of you who watched these teledramas. So the excitement of someone who comes to the university or a college, the whole thing is quite interesting. So I'll play you, and possibly I have to use this as a mic. I don't know how efficient this is going to be, but let's see. I think it must be loading. Can you hear me? No, right? Let me play again. I don't know what this sound is. Well, I'll show you later. I don't know. So now it's a funny video that it's kind of excitement that shows how someone goes to the university. And at the end of the 4 years of your time, all of us want you to be somewhere here on this position. So we don't want to graduate and then go to a career. Again, I wouldn't tell you same thing like, okay, work hard this 4 years and you can sit back and relax the rest of the life. It's not that's not the case. Okay? The life is all about fighting every day throughout your life. Even after retirement, you can't have a rest. Okay? That is for guarantee. So if anyone telling you, okay, this is work hard this 4 years, then you can get a job and sit down in a bench and read books and watch movies, that's not the case. Every day, every year, it's going to be firefighting experience. So, but some of those skills that we can inspire from others can help us efficiently complete the task. Everyone we have a task, and say you have a task to complete your A-levels on time, and you have a task to complete your degree on time. So you are starting this February 2022, and all of you should be aiming to complete it on February 2026. Okay? 3, 4, 5, 6. Because that is one great attitude or nice thing that I have seen as great is that your academic program is not going to get disrupted due to any external factor. Only your own factor could disturb your academic program. So here some of those tools that you can take to make your academic journey a better one. So let's look at the university life. This is full of several things. You have your academic programs, you have your social life. It's not just about studying all the time. You have to accumulate other skills. Some of the other things that you do that might be in your memory even after several years. So it's full of a lot of things, sports, social life, and your dorm or hostel rooms, and then during the program you have several field visits and then interviews, etc., etc. So what we need to do is we need to plan ahead for all your activities. So every year you need to have a plan, and also you need to have a plan now. That is, your plan is to complete your degree on time. Because if you don't complete on time, every year, how much, say even the current value, how much you are going to lose in terms of the monetary value. Say, if you do not finish on time, and if you couldn't complete the course on time, if you delay by 1 year, what is the monetary value of that 1 year? Can anyone tell me what is the monetary value? The cash value, monetary value. You want to tell something, tell me. Don't want to tell anything? Tell me some values. How much you will be using? Any numbers? So if you divide by 1 year, so you're using 1 year of tuition fee, that could be something 600,000, 700,000, plus 1 year salary that you would have gained. So what would be the 1 year salary? So if you look at the immediate value, say if you are getting about 100,000, then it's about 1.2 million plus another 700,000, so it's about 1.8 to 1.9 million rupees plus your expenses, etc., etc. So it could be about 2 million. But if you look at it in another way, that say if you lose 1 year, then at the end also you will be losing 1 year, right? So your total working period will reduce by 1 year. So maybe at the time of retirement, say if you take an engineer who is about to retire, he might be making say 500,000 a month. So 500,000 a month is like 6 million. So the loss is like 7 million at the current market value. So it could be more after 4 years. So what is the loss if you lose 1 year? What's the loss to you if you lose 1 year? The current market value. I told you the value, right? How much? It's about 7 million rupees. You can buy a car. Okay? So that's why we always insist everyone that you have to complete your program on time. And some of the things that we are going to see here will help you to do that. Now I'll show you one. The first one is everyone telling this, everyone is emphasizing this, that do not multitask. So we have the habit of multitasking, right? So we do, maybe if you are doing 2 assignments or you do 2 things at the same time. You start something in the middle, then you go and do something else, and then you come back and start doing it. And maybe you start in the third one, like you start an assignment, then you go and play something with your friend in the dormitory, then suddenly we have to cook the dinner, and then you go and cook the dinner, and then you are doing several things at a time. So the research found that it reduces the intelligence by 11% when you multitask, and also the effectiveness is reduced by 40% when you multitask. So the intelligence reduced by 11%. So you just imagine that over a year you are getting 10%, 11% less than what you can. And also effectiveness of doing the work is reduced by 40%. So one good example is, and in the meantime I have a little quiz also, a quiz meet that's fun questions. So I think you might have heard about this. I think particularly might have used this. Do you have all of you have a smartphone? And do you have used Mentimeter? Okay, so I have some Mentimeter questions as well. These are very fun. Okay, nothing serious, but I just wanted to get some idea. Okay, so if you don't have a smartphone, join with someone next to you who has a smartphone. Yeah, it's very rare occasion, but sometimes when you don't have the internet, I don't have internet most of the time. So now my first question is, okay, so the multimeter code is 2405 5474. So 2405 5474 is the code. There are two questions. One is this, and the next one will be coming. So you see a photograph. So the question is, who is the lady in this photograph? Okay, who is the lady in this photograph? All of you have answered? What is not wrong? Code is 2405 5474. Okay, so the first question, so you can give me an answer and start with this. All of you, please. This is a serious question, not a quiz or anything. Okay, fine. So now most of the people get tired of the work at 65 and they want to retire. Some may work till 70, but if you look at the Queen, she works till 94. She's turning 94 this year, and she's still on reign. She's the Queen of England. And many people who have studied her work ethics and work pattern, that they found that she compartmentalized her work. That means, she doesn't multitask. So if you have one thing to, okay, if you are visiting two places, keep it on Thursday. And if you have to meet the Prime Minister, keep it on Friday. So she meets the Prime Minister every last Friday of a month. So like that, she doesn't multitask, take one task and pay full attention and complete. So that's how she reduces her, stress of multitasking and tiredness of working, and also she can enjoy the life as well. So same time, same like the Queen, you can also do something like, you divide your work into several compartments. So, okay, going to shopping on one day afternoon. So you don't take any other work during the time. So Thursday afternoon shopping time means shopping time. Nothing else. Even an exam after Thursday afternoon, no, I'm not going to attend this exam. I'm going to go to shopping. Okay? So something like that. So rigid that if someone asks you to go for a nice trip on the Thursday afternoon, no, I'm not coming. I won't go shopping on Thursday. So just like that. So this is something that I also found recently from there's a book released about the Queen, and then I thought that is quite good attribute or good way of handling things, that you compartmentalize your work. So it's put in a box. So they say if you have some assignments on next week's submission, then you can say, okay, I'm going to keep entire Friday afternoon or Friday morning or Friday night for my assignments. I'm not going to go study with my peers, or I'm not going to have a fancy dinner or anything, but this is my task. So just like that, you decide if you can divide your calendar, your time into compartments. You can't do anything in the lectures. You can't say, okay, I'm going to attend engineering mechanics on Monday, so if you can lectures on Wednesday, you can't do that. But you can see your schedule, and then you can see, okay, how I'm going to utilize. Because you have a lot of other things as well. So you have academic work, and also you need to dedicate time for your social activities as well. So I'm going to touch that later. So I hope all of you have answered the name of the queen. Okay. Now the next one is determining your productive time. Okay, there is a picture of a person. So the next one is boring. I mean, it must be appearing. You can, if you go to the same code, you have answered that first one, second one is this. So some people have different way of working, like Now, someone might be good at waking up in the morning and then do the work. Say, if you, from my experience, say, if I tell you some of the examples, if you take our dean, he wakes up early in the morning, 4 o'clock, and he works in the morning, 4 to 6:30. So some of the emails will be in the morning. And he also told that that is more productive to me than working in the night. But some people work at the night time. Like some people can't wake up in the morning, so that they say, look, I can stay long in the night. Say, I prefer staying long in the night. So most of the time when I was a student, like I go to study, I start studying at about 10 o'clock and go till about 1 a.m. Because till 10 o'clock I found it a bit discouraging, to do some research. So I can't focus. So if you take, this is, have you all answered? You are active on the, it's not active. Can't you vote on that ventilator? Anyone who thinks you can't vote, please raise your hand. You can't vote? Why? The code is not working. Huh? Can you vote? So you couldn't vote for the first one? You could. So the code is 24055474, but it should come like one after the other. Let me see. What? Not there. Well, I think it should. You have to refresh. Okay, let me wait. I think I have to do something here. Okay, I'll just give me a minute. So I'm going to move this to the extended slides. So it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, I think I have to move to the next slide, so I'll remove that one. Okay, don't worry. people have okay, now some people have a different, as I told you, you may have your different strength. So this is Rahman. So Rahman used to work in the late night. So if you watch his interviews, that you will be telling now that he works like 11 p.m. in the night till 3 or 4 a.m. till early morning. And they may be sleeping in the daytime, we don't know. Okay, so, but you can't do that. Okay? You can't be working from 11 to 4 a.m. and come to the lecture and sleep. Okay, you can't do that. But you have to work, okay, how best you can utilize your time. So, either morning, whether you can wake up in the morning, 4 to 6, or 4 to 7, and do all your work, and then come to the class, or you can go back to your dorm or a hostel and then work in the night time. Okay? So you have to choose what is the best time to work. The next one is distractions. So a lot of these sort of coaches, there are a lot of coaches who train people how to utilize and effectively. They say that the distraction is one of the main concerns. So you may be, addicted to using social media sites. Okay. So there are 3 social media logos here. So what are the 3 social media logos? Can you go to the next one? That is 3146. 6850. So let me see. I mean, all of you might be answering this 100%. 3146 6850. So there are 3 social media logos are here. So you can. So I'm sure that 100% people will be scoring, right? So now you have to find out what takes a lot of time of your productive time. Okay, whether you are addicted to Instagram, or whether you are addicted to Facebook, or whether you are checking your TikTok every 5 minutes. Some people they okay, see the Facebook update, keep the phone, and after 1 minute they see the Facebook update, and some people post pictures and expect people to like. Oh, 5 likes, 10 and 20. How many likes you got now? And then something like that. And Twitter people are very serious. Okay, you post something and you comment about some politician, or comment about some actress, comment about some unspeakable stuff, and then you keep on arguing on that one. Okay, you may have a group of people, replying to that, and then so that is one. And the TikTok thing, I think a lot of young people are in TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account. I don't know how TikTok works, but I have seen videos. So that is also an addiction. And some people have this Instagram. Now a lot of businesses are moving to Instagram. So I have a relative, he buys a lot of stuff from Instagram, and half of them are not usable because it looks nice, but when you get it delivered, it's a crap. And same as like food also. A lot of food they order on the Instagram, but so people addicted to these platforms. And some people they check their stock trading. Okay, open up and I lost 5 rupees. I lost. As if like they are the Warren Buffetts, invested in a big company, and like that. They invest like 1,000 rupees to this. seats and 10 rupees loss. So you have your own addiction or distraction. So you have to see how you can avoid this distraction. I had my own distraction as well, and I thought like I'm spending so little considerable time on this platform, and then I thought, okay, I'll stop. I never visited. So I can use a lot of time. Okay, and say when we were students, like about it's not so long ago, like 10-15 years ago, we didn't have much of an internet. The phone was supposed to be making calls and sending messages. But now the phones are for social media and everything other than talking. Okay, so people don't use mobile phones for talking, but they use 90% for something else. So you have to find your distractions. So first thing we have seen that you don't multitask. So don't do a couple of things, several things at the same time. Second one is that you find out your strength. That is, during which time I can work effectively. Third, you have to avoid your distractions. Okay? So this avoiding distractions will save you time to spend on more productive work. Then the next one is increasing the productivity. Okay? So this is I think it's good to go to this one as well. I think about 50% may get it right. So let me move to my next slide so you can vote. So let's give me a minute so I can move to my next slide. I'll show you this, your voting at the end of the session. What we need is a faster internet. Okay, now I think you should be able to name the person on the screen. Can you vote? Yes? Yeah, you vote. So some people find it more energetic to wake up in the morning. Say, it is true sometimes. You can try. Like if you wake up early in the morning, like 5 o'clock or like 5:30, and you will definitely feel that the day is bigger, and that the day is more productive. And then you also might feel very active during the day. when you wake up early in the morning. If you haven't tried that, if you are not an early waker, try it for one day, maybe tomorrow, and see how do you feel. You know, wake up around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, have a tea, and then do your work, or you go for a walk, and then go to the rooftop and see the sky and breathe good air, and you can do a lot of things. Okay, so now still a lot of people have voted. Anyway, so others, can you vote? Like, please. Some are elected. Okay, the previous one, all of you voted, and then this one, only few have voted. Maybe you are thinking that, okay, let me tell the names so I can vote. So this is not a quiz, right? So Richard Branson is a founder of Virgin Corporation. It's one of the big companies in the world, and he ventures into some of the very new, innovative business ventures, and made some great success on it. So there are Virgin Airlines, Virgin recording, a lot of things. So he claims that waking up in the morning is very productive. Not only him, I mean Tim Cook of Apple, and then Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and all of them claim that they wake up around 4:35, and that makes them more energetic, and they go for exercise in the morning, and that keeps them active for the whole day. The exercising part is very little in this part of the world, right? Because maybe we are a tropical country, But if you go to a Western country, even in the cold climate, even in the winter, you might see a lot of people running on the road. But there are other things as well. They have a good running track, several parks, and a lot of other infrastructure. Okay? So even a small, for example, if you look at a city like Colombo, it's housing about 600,000 people, and about 1 million people are coming into Colombo every day. How many parks Colombo has? How many parks are there in Colombo? Green parks. How many parks? Can anyone tell me how many parks? 1, 2, 3. Can you imagine a park? Anyone is from Colombo? Because you're not from Colombo, that's fine. So cities need those infrastructure, but still people do. Even if you go to the Marine Drive, you can see a lot of people walk in the morning like that. About 4:30, 5 o'clock. I was really amazed. One day I was driving at about 4:30 a.m. Unbelievable number of people are walking and jogging on the Marine Drive. Unbelievable. It's more busier than the daytime. Because a lot of people find, and also you can also try, that wake up in the early morning and see how to make your day active. So when you make your day active, you have a lot of time to do, right? You have a lot of time and you have a lot of energy, so you can do things more effectively and manage your time. So you can follow Richard Branson or Jeff Bezos or Tim Cook in that aspect. Now, another good practice that we can adapt is break the things into pieces. Okay, so Barack Obama, you might know him, so he was the previous president of the USA. So he once said that he believed that big things can be done by a team, not by one single man. Why I am putting this slide is that now, as a student, you have a lot of group works to be done, group projects. You have maybe big assignments, or maybe a CDP at the end of the end of the final year. The fourth year you have a CDP. So when you have big things to do, you have to delegate the work. You break this into pieces. Okay, this part, this part, this part, this part. Okay, you do the literature review, and I'll do the research methodology. And let these two have the experimental investigation. And let this person write the report. So like that, you break the task into pieces, and you focus on the piece that you are working on. And you trust your other colleagues that they will also do their part. You can encourage them to do it if they are not doing, but if they are very, very uncooperative, you can inform the in charge of the course that it's very difficult to work with this person. So then that person can give a different project or a different group. So another way of managing time effectively is by breaking the work into pieces. If it is a complex work, make it into simple things, and then delegate tasks. So within the team members of your group or team members of your project, we have to delegate tasks, and we have to trust that they will do the right thing. So if you have seen Steve Jobs in an interview, he was telling that they don't have managers. They didn't have managers in the company for a long period, because each people were assigned a task and they were doing that, and so no need to manage it. So you will need the manager to manage someone if they are doing things well. So that is trust. You choose the best team and you delegate the task so that you can complete it on time, and then you can manage it very well. Okay? So that is how you have to manage your time as well. Sometimes, some people have this habit that even if it is group work, they tend to do by themselves. So then others also take advantage of you, say, okay, she will do it, and he will do it, so let us enjoy their time. So means that you will be overloading yourself unnecessarily, and that will eventually killing your time for your other activities. So when it comes to a group work or a group project, you precisely break the work into pieces and assign the responsible person, and you focus on your work only. Okay? So don't try to do someone else's work, because that will be disadvantageous to you as well as to that person, because that person will never learn anything thinking that there is someone to do the task. Second one is that you will be overloading yourself and then lose all your productive time. Okay, so that is something you have to think about always. And also some people we have seen writing assignments for some of their friends. I mean, that way you will be losing all your time. Okay, we all are time strapped. We don't have a lot of time to spend unnecessarily. That now you started this semester last week, and just before you think about the semester, you will be at the end of the semester. So then the next semester will start. So the time will be running so fast. You have to manage your time very well. to manage that, you have to delegate the task, and you have to break it into pieces, and you have to trust your colleagues. Then, now we will see some other techniques when it comes to the assignments. Okay, so there are assignments. So you might be anticipating at least a week ahead of your schedule that what are the assignments due next week. Some of the things that you can plan very well. If you know your group project group, if you know your lab group, then if you're starting a lab this week, most probably your next lab will be on the week after. You will not have a lab next week, the same lab. Say for example, if you are doing engineering mechanics, if you have a lab this week, the next week you will not have engineering mechanics lab. So at the beginning of the semesters, you can forecast your deadlines. Okay, when I'm going to have a submission on this lab, and when is going to be my mid-exam, when is going to be my end semester exam. So you can forecast most of the time, most of the items. So some are like abruptly change here and there, but you can have a schedule where you can look where you have the submission, so that you can plan ahead for that submission. Okay, so you have to write down all those things in a, say we upload something called a unit study calendar. So based on the unit study calendar, you can have your own study calendar. Okay, you can replicate that with an empty table each week, and you can write down what would be your submissions each week. So some of those submissions you can even plan ahead. Now, I think one thing that I have a slide on that as well, that our learning improves with our peer pressure. Okay, so you have to learn from your peers. That is very important. Now, because of that, we are improving the infrastructure to provide more space for you to stay with your group or your study group and then do peer learning. Peer learning means you learn from your friends. Now, how many of you have thought about the first semester assignments? How many of you have talked to your seniors, if you know any, about your first semester assignments and the exam? How many of you? Anyone? Please raise your hand if you have spoke to your seniors about your assignments or your academic work or your exams or your studies. I think that is something very important that we have to prepare ourselves. That way we can reduce the pressure on us and we can manage time better. If you look at, I have seen in my class, I think about 70 to 80% people of my colleagues or friends, they had previous year full set of notes and all the copies of the assignment submitted by some of the seniors. They had assignments, they had all the files, okay? So if I am have a file for engineering mechanics, so which will consist notes I have prepared and assignments I have submitted and graded, and any projects that I have submitted and graded. I will keep that one. So at the end of this year, so someone who is joining me will come and ask from me, okay, give me a file. Okay, so I'll be happy to give him my file, and then he can use it. And some people ask back, and some people say, okay, we keep it with you. So about 70 to 80% people have this file. So by looking at the file, you can say, okay, this is the notes, a copy of notes are there, and then you have a copy of sample assignments. You can see how they have graded, what mark they have given. Okay, they have given 70 marks for this assignment, so how can we make it better and score 90? Okay, so you can see where he lost mark, and then in that area you can put more effort and make it better. So to do that, you need to have a calendar, and you need to collect data or collect resources from your seniors. Now the next one is very important, okay, note taking. I have seen during the last 7-8 years I'm teaching here, so about 30% people who are actively taking notes, and I know that those 20% people did very well during the academic year and during the entire academic life, because you have to write things down when you hear something, or when there's a lecture going on, when there's a problem is being solved, you have to copy that. Because when you copy that, it just indirectly registers in your brain. Okay? So, Frank Buck, he suggested, you have to take notes, but not in a neat format. Just, you just write them. And within 24 hours of your lecture, your retention capacity is very high. And as you go on, you forget things. So if you had a lecture in the morning, and if you go in the evening and go through the notes and rewrite a clear set. Okay, so you rewrite the entire notes separately, more clearly, so that you are registering it in a much better way into your brain, so you don't have to think about it. So it's already registered. So even before the day of the exam, you can just see and you will remember everything, because it is already registered. So that is why people give homework, because when you learn about something, and if I give you homework, and if you do it tonight, then you'll be referring all the notes. And if there are any, clarity issues in that notes, you can refer from the books, or you can refer from your friends' notes and rectify that, and you are reading the notes again when you have homework. So when you complete the homework, you are registering your learning more strongly in your brain. Okay, it's registered very well, so that you don't need to spend more time during closer to the exam to revise the notes. So there are people who never take notes, and even the day before the exam, you can't really recap everything that you have studied for the 12-13 weeks. It's impossible. If you didn't understand it, it's impossible. So that's why we have people who are struggling to even pass the module. Pass it's bare minimum. Okay? So always take notes and don't worry about the neatness. Just take a rough notes. And on the same day evening, you spend time and rewrite or check everything and make sure you have read it again on the same day. So that way you can increase your memory capacity. So the recopying and reorganizing those notes will increase your attention and understanding of new concepts. Okay, so that is very important. So you have to rewrite or recopy or reorganize so you can learn better. And when it's time to study for the test, the notes are plus time. Okay, your own notes, not someone else's notes. Your own notes are plus time. And you can reduce a lot of time studying for the test. So your time management during the exam is well taken care of, well ahead of the exam, so you don't have to. So these all are proven methods. Okay? So this is one important, one very good point that you can take and you can practice. That take a rough notes during the lecture, during the class, and then go back home or go back to your dorm room and then rewrite and reorganize so that you can have better learning, better retention. The retention is very important. Retention means how much you retain in your brain. Okay? So when I tell you something like this, when you leave the class, you might be remembering 90%. Okay? But at the end of the day, you might be remembering only maybe 70%. And tomorrow, end of tomorrow, you will be remembering maybe 45%. So like that, it will be reduced retention. So this is one effective way. Then this is something that people do not practice. You ask for help. If you don't understand something, or if you can't figure it out, how a problem is solved, or if you can't comprehend the theory, then you can always ask for help. The first help is that immediately after the lecture, you go to the instructor or the lecturer or the professor and ask them, okay, I don't understand this, can you explain again? I don't think that they'll be saying, no, you can't, I won't be doing it. They'll be happy to explain you again. Even here, before they leave, you can ask. And if you are very reluctant to ask something, then you can ask even from your friends. All of you might have someone, okay, thinking that this person knows it better. So this person is doing well. So let's ask him. But it's always better to ask your professor or a lecturer or an instructor than your friend, because your friend might have understood it differently. And sometimes he may tell you the wrong thing as well. So, never ever be reluctant to ask for help. So, when you ask for help, and if you can sort it out, then you can save time. Otherwise, you will be spending maybe the entire evening figuring out how this has been derived. And how did this theory is formed, and what is the basis of theory. So we will be spending hours and hours reading different books and maybe searching internet on these problems or the theory. So it is good that if you can ask for help and sort it out, because always this is also one important thing that in every area there is a person, or every module there is a lecturer or a professor who is teaching that model. So he must be knowing better than anyone else. And also you have the opportunity to ask from your professor or a lecturer. So you do that. And you should not be reluctant to do that, you know. Some people are a bit shy to go and ask. Why do you have to be shy? It's learning is your right. It's a right. So you have to exercise your right. That is, means that you don't understand, if you can't comprehend, ask for help. Asking for help or getting help is a better way to manage your time and reduce the wastage of your time. Most of you have done this. Even I have done that one. Okay? So when you don't understand something, you go and search something on the internet. Then as a trade of that, you go and search something else on the internet. So it goes on, and you never get an answer. So you start at 9 o'clock, at about 1 a.m. still you will get the answer and you go to sleep. But if I had asked the same from the person from where I got this one, look, I don't understand this kind of term, and then in 5 minutes it's solved. Or 10 minutes it's solved. So you can use that 4 hours in the night for something else. Okay? So this is very important. Always ask for help. Other one is staying organized. This is something difficult for someone. Some people are organized in unorganized situation also. So the definition of being organized is different from person to person. But you need to have your way of being organized. That means at least you can keep a file or folder for each module and keep all the notes, assignments and everything in that folder. At least. Okay? You don't need to be deep or very in-depth organization habits, but at least keep a folder so that you don't mess up with your notes or assignments. Okay? So you can take a file and then paste a calendar for that particular file and keep everything in that file so that you know when it's the assignment, when it's a quiz, and when it's the exam, and you have the relevant material in that file or folder. So that is the least thing that you can do. That getting things organized. And keep your computer also organized is very important. That is something impossible for someone, but some people are very good at it. Okay, even among our colleagues, I used to admire and amaze that the level of organizing habits some of them follow. Okay, not everyone following the best organizing capacity. Then this is very important, that you have to make friends. This is what I told you earlier, that peer learning. I think peer learning is something is lacking in our institution, which encourages people for peer learning. Now, you have to make friends, so then only you can learn through friends. That is called peer learning, peer-to-peer learning. So that is a better way to learn, because you may have understood something in one way, and your friend may have understood the same thing in a different way, and if you both discuss about that topic, you will have a much broader understanding. And you have about 3 friends or 4 friends, and that understanding grows much broader, much deeper, and becomes rich as well in terms of the knowledge. So if you don't have, some people, like they come by vehicle or a bus from home after the lecture, and go home. Just like that. Every day. All day. But you make friends and if you study with them, okay, then you can have a better learning. You can easily improve your grades because you are learning through the peers. I can remember so many such memories that my friends used to learn from our friends. Like, all of the time, if you go to the universities in the evening and the daytime, people in the library, they gather as a group and they learn. Because that is the easy way of learning. If you stay alone and if you start studying, sometimes you might feel a bit bored and then you may move to a different topic. But when you are in a group and if you are working on a problem and if you don't know what's the next step, you can immediately ask someone how to solve it. So if you break that next step, then you can solve it. So it is very important that you have a group for peer learning, and you have to create that group from the first day onwards. Okay, and it will help you for several things. It will help you to work on problems or share the notes and discuss about the topic. And make friends for peer learning. So this is a video which since I don't have this is maybe I can upload it, you can watch it. So here different people are telling about the advantages of the peer learning. Okay, so you can see how peer learning can improve your studies. And the next part is don't study all the time. Okay? So you have other things as well. So if you spend studying this thing, that thing all the time, you will get exhausted. So you have to then allocate time for other things as well. As I told you earlier, like if you compartmentalize your activities, you can one compartment for your social gatherings. Okay? You can, as a group, you can go to a beach, or you can go to, a walk, or you can go to play badminton, or you can play football. There are a lot of other things. It's not about study, so you have to allocate time for other things as well, so that your overall experience won't be that harsh. It will be more pleasant. Because these are the things that you will be remembering with time. Say after 10 years, I still remember the other things I did at the university than the study, because we don't remember how hard I studied for this module or what grade I have scored for this module. Those things you will not remember after 10-15 years, but you will remember the trip that you made. You will remember the barbecue you organized. You will remember the tournament that you organized. You will remember those extra curricular activities and fun activities in your life. So in this 4 year, you have to allocate time for these fun activities as well, because that what adds spice to the life. Okay, so if the life is a kind of a bowl of rice, then these are the curries and the spices and the sweetness and everything. Okay, so you have to allocate time for other fun activities. And the reason I am putting this slide, that your assignments are also fun, because if you go to the exam hall, you are alone tackling your own problem. So you are answering your paper on. But when it's an assignment or a group work or a project work, you have a lot of others with you, your group members. So it's a very fun activity. At the same time, you learn, you score marks. So the assignments are the best place to score marks. So if you take modules, most of the modules, 40% comes from continuous assessment and 60% comes from final exam and the mid exam. Sometimes 25% from continuous assessment, 75% from exams. So if you think about assignments, so this is a big surprise for us. Normally we anticipate students to score high on the assignment. Say, if you have a 40% CA marks, we expect people to score at least 38 or 39. But it rarely happens. We never understood why. So because we expect this, because when we were students, that was the case. Like, people utilize this assignment area as a best venue to score more marks. Because as we know that there is a minimum requirement. Say confusion, and you have to score 35% or something, and final exam 35%, and then overall more than 45%. There are such rate rules. I think for first year it's different, second, third, fourth year is different. But assignments are the best opportunity for you to score more marks. You have to utilize it, and you have to consider it as fun. Then only you will score more. If you think of it as a stressful activity, you will be trying to avoid it. So even we get surprised when people don't make a submission. Okay? Because these are easy avenues to score marks. So you have to think about where I can score easy marks. Okay? These are 10 marks. 10. Generally, they, I call it like, the assignments are like Dunson, Dunson, the pre-lunch. So assignments are like that, the free 40%. And if I am giving you a Dunson and if you don't take it, that's the bad part. Okay? So try to score more assignments by taking assignments as a fun activity. Then only you can enjoy the assignments. And other part is that here think about, okay, which one gives you high return on your investment. If you take an exam, so if you take a paper, exam paper, there is one way what we can do is starting from first question, like you were asked to do, like a obedient student, answer the first, then go to second, third, and then no time for fourth question. Because you have spent a lot of time on the first question. But if you want to do it more effectively, what you will do, you check all the questions, you read all the questions, spend 5 minutes. Even some of the exams we allocate now compulsory reading time because we found people are not even reading the paper. So there's a compulsory reading time for some modules where you can spend 10 minutes at least. You read the paper. So if you thoroughly read the paper and you can see, okay, this question is very easy, I can easily answer this. So that, if you spend 10 minutes on that question, you get 20 marks. And you find another question, it's very difficult, maybe 25 marks. but you have to spend about 40 minutes. Which one will you take? 40 minutes, 20 minute marks, or 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Which is the best investment? Something like, if you work 40 minutes, they give you 25 rupees. If you work 10 minutes, they give you 20 rupees. Which one do you take? You work for 10 minutes and get 20 rupees. Then you can work another 10 minutes and get another 20. So if you read the questions thoroughly, then you know how much time you may require for each question. So you have to, then you can choose the easiest one first and answer them. Then you keep the difficult one at the end. So even if you don't answer half of that, there's no problem because you have already scored enough marks from other easy questions. But if you take the difficult question and if you spend 1 hour, still you wouldn't complete answering because it's difficult because you didn't understand it. Then you have only 1 hour to answer the easy questions. Then you can't score even the full mark from the easy questions. So when it comes to the exam, you have to think wisely and choose the easiest one and then go to the difficult one. Again, you have to plan ahead. Okay? So here I have 2 logos. One is from Moratuva where I have studied, and I have seen how students are using, my colleagues are using different techniques. Here at Switch I have seen some students, how students are using technique. Each one have different techniques, how to utilize your time. Okay? You have to come up with your own innovative way. What I have told you is different, different practices adapted by some great people in the world, and from that we can have our own way of doing things. But what is important is that we have to manage our time more effectively. So you have to plan ahead, then you have to compartmentalize your work. So compartmentalizing your work will give you a lot of flexibility to invest time on the other things and also to enjoy your life beyond studies. Then you can organize your things very well so that you can avoid time on decluttering your messed up stuff. Okay? If you can't find a lecture note, say you go to the study table before the assignment submission, and if you can't find relevant sources, then you might be spending 1 hour finding the source. This all happens to us. If you can think of previous incidents, you might have spent hours on looking for, where is this piece of notes or where is this piece of book, or try to find a book or something like that. So being organized and then finding the best time to study, that is very important. Whether you like to work in the morning or you like to work in the evening, which suits you better. And also that if you have not tried, you can practice some of these methods, like wake up in the morning and see whether the day is energetic, or some people may plan it, when you wake up in the morning, the rest of the day I was sleeping in the class, so then that won't be the case, or you can't be a big book or get results. Okay, depend on someone else. So like that, we have to find the appropriate method to manage your time. So why we are asking to manage your time very well? Because that way you can improve your productivity. So the time is very much related to productivity. So managing time well means you are increasing your productivity. So if you decide, okay, I'm not going to do any of these things, and let me try the way I'm going to do, then you can be in a good position, or you can be in a position like I'll show you this video. You can be in that situation. Okay, I'll show this one later. So this is an interesting one. You can watch this. So how so this is I think you might have seen it, or if not, I encourage you to see this one. We might be in this situation, so if you don't. I don't know, you could be like Mr. Bean sitting for an exam if you don't manage your time well and do the exams. We have seen similar things in our exam hall as well. Not as funny as this thing, but something similar. So that's how Mr. Bean. I don't know how many of you have watched. I mean, your generation might not have watched Mr. Bean, right? Have you watched Mr. Bean before? Anyone? You were born after 2000, right? So try to organize your time so that you can learn better, you can have fun more effectively, and have more other extracurricular activities as well with your studies, so you can excel well in your academic as well as your life. Okay, the better time management will help you to avoid any stressed situation in the life, because a lot of now you can avoid being stressed, or you can avoid your inconveniences by better organizing the time. So some of those techniques that you have found from some great people can help you, and also we also learn from them, and you can also learn from them and enjoy your 4 years of academic life. So I'll show you this